Hello there, happy Friday. Welcome to the preview show episode of Premier League Weekly. I'm Josh, joined by Tom, and we've got a couple of massive Premier League fixtures coming up this weekend, and there's ones we're going to be previewing today. So kicking off then with table toppers Man City, who host Watford at the Etihad. Thoughts?
I think it'll be a close game, actually. I think City are a brilliant attacking side, and I think Watford are probably the best attacking side outside the top six this season under Javi Gracia.
Better than Wolves?
Yeah, for me, I think so. Gracia actually got a shout out in my Tom's Travels video. I'll put the link in the description, but a native of Cordoba, where I had the privilege to visit last week. And I think the thing with Watford is I think Gracia has to be pragmatic and perhaps not go all out in the way he does against other mid-table sides and also sides like Chelsea or even the other top six, because I think if he does, he'll get mashed like Chelsea were at the Etihad. But I think if he can set the team up in a compact but really nice counter-attacking way, I think Watford have a chance at getting a point, and Liverpool will be watching with eager eyes as to whether City can drop points and Liverpool can reclaim the lead.
I think when it came to this fixture, well, when Liverpool played Watford, rather, this was certainly a game that we kind of thought it's just a bit of a banana skin moment here. This is the sort of game that Liverpool really could step up on. And obviously Liverpool passed the test with flying colours. Watford were absolutely destroyed 5-0. But
tactics there,
again, I think that City are going to be a bit more conservative. Now they are top of the league, they don't need to take as many risks. Or they know as long as they keep winning, and if they go 2-0 up and just sit back, then the league's theirs. And so I can't see City doing a 5-0 on Watford that Liverpool did. And I actually think that Liverpool are now going to have to go all out now that they're behind. I think now that City are in the driving seat, they're in control. Even if they, I don't think they'll be happy with 1-0, but even if they were to win just 1-0, exactly, it's the 3 points that matters. So, predictions.
Well, I think Javi Gracia will learn from the Liverpool game. He will set his side up more compact, but I think the score will be 2-1 to Man City.
Okay, I can't see City conceding. I think there will still be 3 goals, so 3-0 to City there. So we're both predicting City win. City still to stay on top of the Premier League table by, I think it's the international break after next week, isn't it?
I think it could be. I think there might be one more game.
Okay.
Obviously Champions League and Europa League.
Anyway, moving on then to easily the biggest game of the weekend, the clash of historically the Premier League's 2 biggest sides in Arsenal and Manchester United at the Emirates Stadium. Again,
I think
Tom.
Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal now, mate.
I'm sorry?
I think Chelsea have won more Prems than Arsenal now, mate.
Yeah, but historically, I think that Arsenal United's still the team, the rivalry there.
Historically, till 2004, maybe.
Anyway, thoughts?
I think it'll be an excellent game of football. And, with Arsenal a point behind Man United, and it's at the Emirates, Unai Emery's got to get it spot on again. And I think if he does, I think he will win, because I think last week he was very unlucky not to. And I think they will get some luck if Emery outsmarts Solskjaer the way he managed to outsmart Pochettino. I think it'll be a close game, but I rate Solskjaer, but he hasn't had I would have said he hasn't had a real tactical battle yet, in that he's not faced a Mourinho or a Pep. But
he's beaten both Tottenham and Arsenal. And Chelsea. He drew with Liverpool and managed to stop them from scoring.
Yeah, it's true. I think Emery, though, will have he will adapt from having lost 3-1 to United. I really don't know who to go for here. I think it's anyone's game. I really think whoever turns up on the day, it's absolutely anyone's game. I'll be asking for a draw, being a Chelsea fan, and I'll be thanking my lucky stars if it is a draw. But I think I'm just excited to watch it, because I think it'll be a brilliant game.
We've done absolutely nothing from that 2 minutes of preview analysis there. Basically, what you're saying is whoever plays better is going to win the game, and you want a draw.
I think it's that sort of a game. I think, honestly, you can go through tactics, but both of these sides have had great days this season. They've had less good days this season. And And I think Emery's tactics are so unpredictable there'd be no point in me trying to say, do you know what, I think Emery's going to line up like this. I think, honestly, it'll be two sides going for it in the battle for top four, and I genuinely don't know who's going to win.
Well, I think whoever scores the most goals is going to win the game. Actually can see, and perhaps this is obvious, United I can see going for the win. And not because Arsenal haven't got what it takes to win the match, but because, as you said, Solskjaer, maybe they're not quite tactical battles, but that's not necessarily Unai Emery's forte at this moment in time. I think it's the fact that United have beaten Tottenham, beaten Arsenal, beaten Chelsea, held Liverpool. I don't know how much more Solskjaer can do, perhaps apart from beating PSG. Obviously, by the time this episode goes out, the game will have happened. At the time of recording, it hasn't. So we don't know exactly how that game has gone. But perhaps that will depend on the momentum going into the game. Let's not forget United have got a lot of injuries. But the core of that squad is still there. De Gea is still there. I think Rashford's come back. Pogba's still in there. Herrera loves the big games. Martial, I'm not sure if he's going to be in the squad or not. Sanchez is out, thank God. He's absolutely useless. So I think if we're talking about tactics, I don't necessarily think that that's indicative of a stalemate. And if we have to look at perhaps all we can look at, which is form, ultimately United are still unbeaten in the league under Solskjaer. We've lost only one game, as I said at the time of speaking, under Solskjaer. That was against PSG in the Champions League. So I think that the momentum has to be in United's favour. So on that basis, I'm going for a 2-0 United win. What are you going for, Tom?
I'm going to go for 2-2, actually. Ooh. I think it'll be end-to-end. I genuinely don't know who, because Emery's been good at home against the bigger sides. I mean, obviously not in the FA Cup, but we can exclude that. And I mean, against Man City, a defeat in his first game can be excused. But I mean, he was brilliant against Chelsea at the Emirates, and against Tottenham rather. I can just see Emery nicking it. But Solskjaer's been very good as well, so I will say 2-2.
Okay, so certainly an exciting game to come this weekend anyway. But that does round off this week's previews. I know that we'll be coming up with another series of shorter previews on YouTube, just kind of selfie vlogs, if you like. Tom's obviously going to be doing Chelsea Wolves. I've got a few games that I want to cover too. So I'll be coming over the next couple of hours. But before we do sign off for this week's preview show, Tom has, of course, the answer to this week's Guess Who. And I think I actually know the answer to this one.
Yes, I think Josh probably does because he texted it to me earlier today. But I'll just go over the clues again. He's played in 7 European countries. He's never won a major honour in the top 5 leagues. And he was a teammate of Paul Gascoigne. He is, of course, the exuberant Abel Saviour. The blonde hair.
Natural blonde hair, obviously.
Natural blonde hair, of course. He was so extravagant, brilliant Premier League sort of staple. Do check him out on Premiership Years. Josh and I were talking about it when he leaves Everton for Liverpool. The pain it caused for Paul Gascoigne was immense, but he's a good player, and Prem's not the Prem without these sort of guys, I don't think.
No, certainly not. And I'm obviously not one of the better players perhaps to make the switch from Everton to Liverpool. But anyway, we've certainly remembered for that hair. But regardless, that does round off this week's preview show. We'll be back tomorrow with the Retro Show as we dive into our 2 picks for the greatest foreigners never to finish in the top 4. But until then, thanks for watching.